Oh, what's up, dude? What's up, dudes? How's it going? Hey everybody, welcome back to the Headbangers Hideout. Today we got a special treat. We're going to be breaking down the guitar tone of legend Steve from Boston, formerly known as Pixie Licks. That name still cracks me up. Pixie Licks. And for obvious reasons, he changed the name a few years ago now. I think 3 years now? 2 years? To Steve from Boston. So Steve from Boston, if you're watching, not that you are, but this was one of your earliest tones I remember from 2010. 2011, maybe earlier, and we're going to go from this to this. Does that sound good? I'm telling you, welcome back to the Headbangers Hideout. Today's featured guitar tone. As you can see, this was an old guitar tone patch, one of the very first guitar tone patches I ever created, thanks to Steve from Boston, AK or FKA, formerly known as Pixie. That name cracks me up. As you can see, I named this tone on the screen Pixie Licks tone. I didn't want to go back and change it to Steve from Boston. So if you like this tone and you want to rename it Steve from Boston, by all means go for it. But I owe a lot of my tones that I do now because of Steve from Boston. Really quick, long story short, when I started YouTube, I had the Boss eBand JS-8. As a, to be transparent, the presets for the Boss JS-8 eBand were okay to good. And it's up to you to get in there to make him sound great. And because of Steve, he did a video back in the early days of YouTube. He would come on and play an opening chord. And when I heard it, I'm like, what the hell was that? It just sounded so good. You can just hear the delay and the reverb. So when I heard that tone, I'm like, my eBand sounds nothing like this. I think back then Steve was either using over TH3, what's it called? Overloud TH2 or something like that. I don't know the names. It was either Overloud or TH2 or something like that, or early Guitar Rig 2, 3, or 4. I don't know what it was. Long story short, Steve was coming up with presets already like this. And every one of my presets on the Boss eBand was nothing like that. I'm like, I was mad, I was jealous, I was upset because I'm like, what a waste of money on my Boss eBand. So I went out and bought a PV Viper 30-watt amp with all the bells and whistles. It lit up and all that, but I could never get that PV Viper amp to save any of my presets. Then I hooked up my Boss eBand JS-8 to the PV Viper thinking, oh, I'm going to make this sound good. Nothing worked. The JS-8 sounded like crap. And then my PV Viper sounded really crappy, so I got rid of the PV Viper. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get that tone from Steve and use that as a building block. Because none of my tones had these lush, vibrant reverbs. I didn't have any of those delays or reverbs on any of my presets, my factory presets. And here's Steve making his little videos, and every video had an awesome tone patch. I'm like, I'm not going to go out and buy new software or equipment. I'm going to get into my Boss eBand and start getting these reverbs and delays and make them sound good. So basically, because of Steve's tone or videos, I got into the Boss eBand JS-8 and started tweaking with amps and effects and distortions and reverbs and chorus to make them sound as full, as good as I could. And that led me to emulate as best I could one of the tones that Steve had back then that I just loved, I had to get. And Pixie Licks tone was one of my very first tones I created. And it was that building block where I created all my George Lynch tones by listening more for delays and delay times and reverbs or chorus or flanger or phaser. Then I started listening to certain things because none of my presets sounded great. They were okay to good. And the eBands are great. They're very great for what they do. But the presets are They'll get you by, and they're great for advanced, beginner, intermediate. All the presets, they're good, but they're not great. Fortunately, I was able to tweak them, and that's why I make all my videos, because I made all the tones really, really, really good. I'm very happy with all the tones. So I made the eBand kick ass and blow everybody away. See, this is not a tone you can get on the eBand. I had to dial this in myself by copying or emulating as best I could one of Steve's tones. So this is that was the background story of the original Pixie Licks tone and the demo that you heard before this video. This is all that tone. And if you haven't followed Steve, by all means click the link below. It's a link to his channel, and every Saturday, I believe, around 4 p.m. See, Steve? I catch your little live shows, but I catch them late. But I watch every one of your live shows. He has these amazing tones on his little live streams. Every video has a unique tone. He brings out a new guitar, and he just has a lot of reverb. I love the reverb and the distortions, and he just starts noodling around. I can't play like Steve because he does a lot of box pentatonics and a lot of pinch harmonics, and I don't play like that. I can't play like that. Anyway, so check out Steve from Boston's channel. He's huge. He's almost to 100,000 subscribers. But everybody knows Steve. But this is like my little tip of the hat to Steve from Boston. This is the tone I called Pixie Licks. One of my earliest tones with the Boss eBand. In fact, probably one of my first 2 tones I ever created with the Boss eBand JS-8. And this is the tone I call Pixie Licks. I'm going to give it to you. So that's where the tone came from, why I devised it. Because my eBand presets were not that great, and I was stuck with those presets. But listening to other people, I started listening for things, so that helped me get into the Boss eBand and tweak it to make it sound good. Alright, let's go ahead and begin. Let's see what's in this tone. Alright, real fast. I'm using, the Boss eBand has the Boss GT100 effects processor already built into it. Real fast, click subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I upload videos every single day. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, or requests, leave them below. And thank you all new subscribers, and thanks everybody for hanging out with me. Alright, now this amp is modeled after, or this is an amp by Boss. They call high gain stack, but pretty much it models a modified vintage Marshall or vintage modified Marshall. I think it's modified vintage Marshall. So whatever amp modeling you would have with your stop boxes, computer-based software, the Line 6, the Line 6 pod or the Helix or that Fractal Audio Axe FX 8, 1, 2, 3, your Guitar Rig 4, 5, 6, your Overloud, TH, I don't know what you guys use, Guitar Rig, Spark, whatever. I'll get you there. Just look at the screen. But the high gain stack for Boss emulates a modified vintage Marshall. As you can see, there's my gain at 61 and there's my effect level at 70. Oh, I just love it. I love it. Oh, what's next? There's my bass, my middle, my treble, and my presence. Just look at the screen. And if you don't have 32 for your bass, that's fine. That would probably be at 11 o'clock, right? 11 o'clock on your, whatever you have, your numbering. So just look at it as the clock bass. So there's my settings for the high gain stack or the modified vintage Marshall. And again, I can never get any of these tones from the eBand, ever. Or from my little stupid PB Viper 30 watt. Alright, if you have this on your screen, that's what it looks like. T-comp at 0 and it's on. If you don't have this, it will not affect your tone. It just happens to be on my screen. So that's how I have it on. It's always at 0. I rarely use that. Alright. Now, see that? It says Compressor Limiter. It's on the compressor side, but it's off. So the compressor is off. So as I go through the screen, if I have the compressor off, turn yours off also. I'm not using compressor. At least I don't think I am. Yeah, see, those are my compressor settings, but I'm not using any of it. So disregard what you see on the screen. I'm not using any compressor. That's why it's off. All right. For this tone, I am using a Boss Clean Boost. I think it's the OD one. I think it is. No, there's the OD one overdrive. This is a Boss Clean Boost overdrive. If I turn it off, this is the tone, the Pixie Licks tone, without the Clean Boost. Let's turn it back on. Oh, and real fast, quick disclaimer, transparent. I never asked Steve what his settings were. I have no idea if I'm even close to the settings on those presets that he had. That's just what I remember hearing. So this, obviously, like all my videos, this is based on my ear, what I heard from his earlier videos that I'm trying to copy. I don't know his reverb. I don't know any of his settings or nothing. I made it all up to sound like a Pixie Licks preset from one of his Guitar Rig 2, 3, or 4. I don't know what he had. I forget. Doesn't matter what he had. It just sounded killer. So I am using a Clean Boost overdrive. And these are my settings. There's my drive, my bottom, my tone, and my effect level. I love making stuff up. All right, what's next? There's my noise gate. I normally put my noise gate right around 50. So as a rule of thumb for most of my patches, my noise gate's right in the middle at 50 threshold. So there it is. If you saw it at 40, I just bumped it up to 50. Get any unwanted noise or hum or hiss. Now the reason why I'm always hitting that G chord, because Steve, in his early videos, he would hit that open G and these amazing tones came out. And I was so jealous because my eBand didn't sound like that. It sounded like crap. Yes, I can say that. The eBand sounded like crap until I got a hold of it and created all my beautiful tones. I was just upset because he sounded like this as a default, and I sounded like crap with my defaults. That's why I created it. So, all right, I am using EQ. So these are my settings for EQ. My low gain is at 0, high gain at 0, but my effect level is at 2. I'm going to turn the EQ off so you can hear the before and after why I'm using EQ. Again, I don't know what Steve presets were. It doesn't matter what his presets were. We're going with, I'm giving you from my memory, because I can't even find the damn video. I can't find the damn video of Steve's back from 2010 or 11. I can't find the damn video. Alright. Here it is without the EQ. Not bad, right? It sounds pretty good without the EQ. Let's put on the Pixie Licks Steve from Boston EQ. I love these tones, alright? So that is the first wave of the EQ. Oops, I messed up, right? Did I mess up? Oh, here we go. Alright, next, my low mid frequency, my low mid Q, and my low mid gain. Alright, next in my EQ chain, there's my high mid frequency, my high mid Q, and my high mid gain. I think you will all agree, if you follow these settings, dial it in. I'm using the marginal super distortion pickups, but if you dial it in, you're going to love this tone. And again, you can go into it and play with the reverb and the delay to make it better. Again, this sounds great for me. You're going to hear things maybe a little bit differently in person, but it's going to sound really, really good in person. You'll know it sounds good when you can hit an open G and it sounds awesome. This sounds so full and massive, and I love it. And lastly, my EQ chain, there's my low cut and my high cut. Alright, we're almost done actually. Now these are my modulations. See the bottom right? It's off, so I'm not using any chorus. I'm using no effects as far as modulations. No flanger, phaser, no chorus. So see how it's off? So skip that. It's on the screen, but it's off. We're not using any of it. Alright? This is pretty much a great 80s glam tone. Alright. Oops, again, off. Pay attention to that. That's that off, right? We do have delay. Again, I don't know what his delay was. It doesn't matter what his delay was. But back then, I was like listening for the spaciousness. And to prove it, I'm going to turn the delay off so you can hear before and after. Now you just hear the reverb. Listen. Not bad, right? But it's pretty much just a crunch tone with reverb. But to make it sound like a Pixie Licks, let's put on the delay. time is at 5:20, feedback at 32. Again, that's 11 o'clock. High cut at 2.00, and my effect level at 90. Real fast, before we finish this tone, I'm going to drop the 90 to 70. See what it sounds like. Use this tone, play with the settings to your liking. You may think, oh, Tony, you got too much delay. That's fine. That's totally fine. Drop it. You can drop your effect level. Remember I had it at 90? Let's try it at 60. Remember, this is the delay time, the delay level. I'm going back to 90 because I love it. Now when you dial this in, you may want to change it, the effect level. Real fast, on my intro demo, that little demo I did of the Steve from Boston tone, that solo was with the 90 effect level on the delay. The entire lead playing I was doing, that's with these settings. So that's why it sounded the way it did. I thought good. Not the playing, forget the playing, but the sound, because I had the effect level on the delay at 90. I have it like that because, oh, this, you're not going to hear these repeats over the drums and the bass. You just hear the soaring lead, and it disappears as you're on to the next lick or whatever. But meanwhile, the bass and the drum are playing, so you're not going to hear all these little trails. So that's why I have the high effect level, because if I'm going to play with drums or a backing track, it hides it. So that's why I do it. Now the last parameter, and we're done with the Steve from Boston, FKA, formerly known as Pixie Licks guitar tone. Some of you out there wanted this tone years ago, and I kept it private only because I didn't think you guys really wanted it. I kept getting emails or, hey, where's that Pixie Licks tone? Where's that Pixie Licks tone? I'm like, I don't know if I want to share it because it was my tone. It was my tone for me. But someone saw it on my screen, and so I let the cat out of the bag. But you know what? It's a great tone. And to me, everything, all the credit goes to Steve from Boston. Again, I don't think he even pays attention to his reverbs and delays. I think he just dials in a tone, he likes it, and he runs with it and does a video. But I had a copy from what I could hear, alright? So that's where I got it. Alright, to finish up this to finish up this tone, there's my reverb type. Room. You can have hall, plate, ambient. You may have a bunch of reverb types. Play with it. You may find a better reverb type than I do. In this case, I have room, reverb time at 3.0, high cut at 2.00, and my effect level is at 70. I'm going to turn the reverb off so you can hear before and after. With no reverb. That's strictly delay. If you don't want reverb, you don't have to add reverb. I hear reverb. Maybe I have too much reverb. So again, you can drop your effect level. Let's put it back on. So here's the reverb on at 70 level. I'm going to drop the effect level and just see how it sounds, okay? This is what I mean by you can make it better. Remember it was at 70? Let's just try 50. For a minute there, I was thinking I was going to cut my finger. reverb at 50. I'm going to go back at 70. Again, that's just my preference. Just the way I have it. Once you dial it in, play with it, make it sound better. Thanks everybody for watching this video, and hope you liked the video. I'm happy to share all my tones. None of my tones are secret. I should be uploading a tone every single day. I'm doing my best. I want to unleash all my tones. I have over 300 tones, and I keep devising and creating more and more. So if you want tones, I'm going to give you my tones. If you have any requests, be patient, because I already have a lot of requests, and I want to not disappoint people, but I have a lot of requests, so I'm going to be uploading as much as I can, and keep it fresh, and give you all cool tones so you can jam along with your rig. You know, nothing more than getting free tones, not having to pay for it, not having to beg, or what are your settings, what's your delay time. No, you can have it. You can have it all. Make it your own. Call it whatever you want to call it. Rename it. My tones are your tones. Alright, I'm Tony. Thanks for joining me for this video. If you have any questions, comments, and feedback, leave them below. I'll see you all in the next video, and the next tone will be a surprise. I have a list of all my tones that are coming, but that will kill the surprise. So you'll just have to wait and see, subscribe, hit that notification bell, so you'll know when I upload videos every single day. 24 days a week. Is that, no, I'm sorry, 7 days a week. I upload videos every single day. 7 days a week. I can't even say it no more. 365 days a year. Alright, I'm Tony. Thanks everybody, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.